Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever looked at your bank account and felt a quiet wave of shame? The credit card balance, the loan, the payment that never seems to disappear. And deep down you start wondering, God, why won't you help me fix this? But what if your debt isn't just a financial problem? What if it's a spiritual interruption? Because throughout Scripture, God often allows pressure until we learn the one lesson that changes everything. By the end of this video, you'll understand what this season of financial pressure is actually teaching you. And once you see it, you won't look at your situation the same way again. You wake up tired, you try again, you push forward. But inside, something feels off. You're doing the right things. You pray, you work, you believe, and still, the numbers don't move the way you need them to. The weight is real. The silence feels heavy. And somewhere deep down, a question you've been afraid to ask keeps surfacing. Does God even see this? You're not alone in that question. Millions of people are carrying it right now, and most of them are carrying it quietly. Some are sitting in church on Sunday morning with a smile on their face and a collection notice in their mailbox at home. That tension between sincere faith and daily financial reality is one of the most isolating feelings a person can carry. And it doesn't have to stay hidden inside you. Here's what culture taught us. If you work hard enough, if you're disciplined enough, if you make the right moves, financial freedom is yours. We were told that control was possible, that the right spreadsheet, the right income, the right strategy could build a life that stays standing. And for a while, maybe it did. But debt has a way of exposing what's underneath the surface. It pulls back the curtain on systems we built on assumptions, that we were in charge, that security was something we created, that provision was something we earned. And when those systems crack, most people don't look for a spiritual lesson. They look for a faster way out. That's the mistake. When your only focus is escaping the pressure, you miss the question God is using that pressure to ask. Most people treat debt as purely a financial crisis. And yes, it is that. But if that's all you see, you'll miss what God is actually doing in this season. You'll keep searching for the exit while walking past the classroom. There's a moment in Scripture that explains this better than most conversations about money ever could. In Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7, Solomon writes, "The borrower is slave to the lender. In his time, debt could cost you your literal freedom. But in modern America, the bondage looks different. You check your balance before you make a decision. You lie awake running numbers. The lender may not own your body, but the anxiety owns your peace. And that, according to Scripture, is not how God designed you to live. But here's where it gets powerful. And this is the part most people skip over. In the book of Judges, chapter 6, we find a man named Gideon hiding wheat in a winepress. His people were under economic oppression. Every harvest they worked for was taken. Every resource they built was stripped away. He was broke, afraid, and doing what little he could in secret. And in that moment, at his lowest, most resource-depleted moment, God shows up and calls him a mighty warrior. Not after the breakthrough, not after the finances changed. Before, God named Gideon's identity before his circumstances moved, and that detail is not accidental. It's the pattern. God often calls the person before he changes the situation, because the situation is not the point. The person is the point. Maybe you're watching this after another night of running numbers in your head, wondering if you'll ever get ahead, wondering if God is still paying attention. You've prayed about it. You've tried to budget your way out. You've felt the quiet shame of explaining to yourself why things still aren't better. And underneath all of it, there's a fear you've barely admitted, that maybe you're just not the kind of person who gets to move forward. That lie is not from God. And this message is here to interrupt it directly. What if your debt isn't just a financial problem? What if it's the exact pressure God is using to call out something in you that comfort never could? The Apostle Paul, writing in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, says something that sounds almost offensive until you sit with it long enough. He writes, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Paul wasn't writing from a place of spiritual theory. He was writing from a place of real, ongoing limitation. He asked God to remove something painful, and God said no. Not forever, but not yet. Because the weakness was doing something the strength couldn't. Financial pressure does the same thing. It exposes the places where we believed we were self-sufficient. It reveals how much of your sense of peace was actually built on the stability of your bank account rather than on the steadiness of your faith. It breaks down the illusion that we are the source of our own provision. And in the crack that's left behind, something real can finally grow. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 17 and 18 carries a warning written not for people in poverty, but for people about to enter prosperity. It says, "You may say to yourself, 'My power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth.' But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." Comfort, God knew, has a way of making us forget where our strength actually comes from. Debt removes that comfort, and in doing so, it removes the illusion along with it. It forces the question most people spend years avoiding: who are you when your systems fail? So what is God actually doing in this season? He is stripping away the false confidence that said you could build security on your own. He is dismantling the identity that was quietly tied to what you earn, what you owe, and what you own. That's uncomfortable, but it's not destruction. It's the removal of what was never meant to carry you. He is reshaping the way you relate to money, breaking the pattern of decisions made from fear, from comparison, from the pressure to appear in control. Consumer culture spends billions convincing you that your lifestyle is your identity. Debt is often the painful result of believing that lie. And the reshaping God does in this season is a deep unlearning of that narrative, and He is building something in you that only difficulty can produce. Patience, discipline, the ability to wait without losing hope. James chapter 1, verse 3 reminds us that the testing of faith produces perseverance. And perseverance, when it finishes its work, produces maturity. Jesus reinforced this in Luke chapter 16, verse 10. "Whoever is faithful with little will also be faithful with much." The discipline required to pay down debt month after month, to choose long-term faithfulness over short-term relief, that is not just financial behavior. That is character formation, spiritual training. And what it produces in you will carry into every area of your life long after the debt is gone. Maybe God hasn't removed the pressure yet, because He's still forming the person who will carry the blessing. Here's how to apply this in your actual life. Begin by shifting the question. Instead of asking only when this ends, start asking what this is exposing. Name the fear underneath the numbers. Is it shame, pride, the need for control? That's where the real work begins. Then make one faithful decision this week. Not a dramatic overhaul. One choice that reflects trust over panic. A conversation you've been avoiding, a spending habit you know needs to change, a prayer you've been too tired to pray. Faithfulness in small things is the language God honors. And small acts of obedience, done consistently, build the kind of foundation that outlasts any financial season. You are not behind. You are being prepared. That pressure you've been carrying, the one that keeps you awake at night, it hasn't broken you. It's been building you. This season isn't a sign that God has forgotten you. It's a sign that He trusts you enough to form you here. The numbers in your bank account may be exposing something deeper than money, and the invitation isn't to panic. It's to lean in, to let the pressure do its refining work, to come out of this not just with less debt, but with more wisdom, more humility, and a faith that doesn't collapse when circumstances get hard. When your strength runs out, dependence on God finally begins. And maybe that's exactly where He wanted to meet you all along. If this message found you in the middle of financial pressure, type "still standing" in the comments. Because even in the struggle, God is still writing your story. This message continues in the next video. Don't miss it. Keep believing. Keep walking forward. God is moving behind what you can see. God bless you.